the platform and strategy that tends to work the best in the post-AI SEO era is unscalable. My guest today, Anne Smarty, has been handling reputation management on Reddit and getting her clients to rank for over a decade. She walks through what mistakes she sees agencies making when they try a Reddit campaign, what her agency does well and how to do it right, and how Reddit fits into a larger organic SEO strategy to help you and your clients absolutely dominate in the post-AI world.
There is no quick resolution to that on Reddit. First of all, what people do not realize is that everything that is on Reddit and has been on Reddit for at least for as long as it existed is already on the training data. Whether you delete things or get some threads deleted, or whether you try to manipulate with like fake reviews or fake things happening, everything is already in the training data. Everything becomes LLM training data or LLM citation. And that's why Reddit is with so much demand, because they provide exactly the food for the training data that no other publisher does.
If you're curious about Reddit marketing and how it can help your brand, Anne is the go-to person for you to learn from. I'm Austin Willman, and this is eCoffee with Experts. Your agency, Smarty Marketing, focuses a lot on Reddit, and it's a hot topic. So I want to know, what got you into Reddit marketing in the first place? Because you've been doing it longer than most people even know the platform has been around.
Well, yes, by accident, to be honest. About 16 years ago, we started figuring out viral marketing mostly for links, because that's everything everyone ever wanted. So we wanted to see what's the organic link building generation platforms there were, and usually that's social media. So we tested lots of them. At that point, that was Dig, Stumble Upon, then it was Mix, and all the time it was Reddit as well. So we kind of stuck with Reddit because it was working. Basically, there was no other good reason for that. We didn't know it was going to be huge. We didn't know, but it was handy because we noticed a lot of journalists and bloggers were using Reddit as the homepage for whatever was happening in their location. And that was helpful to get additional exposure and organic exposure as well. Then before we knew it, maybe about 5 years ago, it started ranking very well. It was ranking especially for branded queries. It started ranking a lot, not as noticeable as these days, but already that was the trend that we were seeing. So we started brand reputation management services on Reddit. Then happened ChatGPT and all the AI, generative AI thing, where they started consuming Reddit content to make assumptions about brands, ranking them and giving recommendations to the clients. And somehow Reddit became a trend, which was not something in many friends in my industry like to think that I foresaw that I was the pioneer of the Reddit marketing, but that definitely wasn't the case. We were what happened on Reddit, and then everything happened with LLMs using it, Google ranking it, and all of that. So that almost wasn't an accident, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad that you're telling me that. I almost ordered a crystal ball from Ukraine, and I'm just gonna, get it out of my shopping cart because that's not how it works. So
No, it's not. Next?
Reddit for branded queries, and you talk about this brand management thing. This sort of brand management is not scalable. It's there's all sort of programmatic SEO and processes and workflows that we can do to help us with all other aspects of SEO, but brand management, specifically on Reddit, how do you go about that? I mean, a relatively small team, right? A family-oriented team that's close and have worked together for a long time. How do you manage such high quality Reddit brand management across your clients?
Well, first of all, it's good that you brought that up, but we don't scale. I guess that's why we are successful on Reddit.
Hmm.
In most cases, we don't scale. And that is the only way to go about Reddit. You try not to scale because it's
Wow.
the platform of real people. They see when you are
Yeah.
trying to scale them. It's
Mm.
very easy to notice there are human moderators. I think one of the reasons why Reddit has become where it is now, exactly because it's all humanly moderated. There are human moderators on all these subreddits and all the communities. There is no other platform like that in the world. Facebook groups, they are either small or no one cares what's happening there.
Mm.
Forums, same. So it's the community about everything, but there is human moderation and human oversight of everything that's going on.
Mm.
Not perfect in many subreddits for sure, but Reddit is taking care of that. So that is exactly the reason why it has become so in demand for training data,
Mm-hmm.
for LLMs and whatnot. There's no replacement. Like
Yeah.
LLMs want to learn from people.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they do that? Communities.
Yeah.
And Reddit has a community for everything.
Yeah.
So that's why it has become so popular food for the training data, and that's why it became such a big thing. Exactly for that reason. That's real people discussing real problems with real products or real brands. And all of
Mm.
that, on top of everything, all of that is also ranking in Google.
Hmm.
So there
Mm-hmm.
is multi-level of Reddit influence on all intent-based channels. An
Hmm.
intent-based channel is when people are actively looking for the solution to their problem or the answer to their question. It's not social media where they just scroll. It's when they are proactively trying to solve the problem. And
Mm.
both search engines, well, Google mostly, and LLMs, which is at this point the most influential ones, are ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. All of those are intent based channels where people
Yeah.
proactively are trying to solve the problem. And Reddit is the great verification level
Mm.
where you try to say, okay, this brand is well known, but should be trusted. And this is where Reddit comes in, where they can pull exactly everything that people are thinking about that brand.
People, I think it's important. It's because it's something we don't like to hear as marketers that, well, you can't scale that or yeah, you really can't do that. We're like, no, I'm all about processes and efficiency and automation and optimization. I mean, it's literally SE optimization, right? And to hear that the truth is you can't scale that, that's a hard pill to swallow. And yet, just because of the nature of the people who tend to get in this industry, I think we all always try and hack a system. We always try and find the loophole. That's kind of what SEO is. It's finding the loopholes in the algorithms until Google's team patches it, releases another update, and then we have to look for the next loophole. I mean, it's kind of the cat and mouse game. When you look at the industry right now, knowing this, how do you see agencies or marketers getting getting Reddit wrong? What are they doing wrong? Like, what do they try and do, and then why is that not the right thing?
Exactly what you just said. They are trying to find loopholes, shortcuts, and anything that can get them quick. You will not believe how many leads we get where people are like, we need it tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, you've had bad reputation, not just on Reddit, but overall for let's say 10 years. There
Mm.
is no quick resolution to that on Reddit. First of all, what people do not realize is that everything that is on Reddit and has been on Reddit for at least for as long as it existed is already on the training data. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you delete things or get some threads deleted, or whether you try to manipulate with like fake reviews or fake things happening, everything is already in the training data. You are not going to move the needle that much. The second thing to keep in mind here is that when you try to, and that's the common thing that many brands are doing, they're trying to sponsor, to pay,
Mm-hmm.
basically pay people for fake reviews, fake comments, fake threads.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily new to our industry.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We've been doing that for quite a while. The difference with Reddit is that, well, there are two major things that brands do not realize. Is that first of all, for human beings, it's
Mm-hmm.
always very easy to tell. And don't forget that there are human moderators there looking at this. The second thing not to forget, well, I will not even mention the legality of it. I mean, we've all been in this for a while. We know that it is not legal to pay for reviews, including Reddit reviews. But let's even put that aside because we already know that. Every business already knows that. Whoever chooses to still do it, no judgment at all. Whatever works for you guys. But the tough thing with Reddit is that everything ranks. Everything becomes LLM training data or LLM citation. And whatever you do on Reddit, if it blows up, if you are suspected of being sponsoring all those reviews and comments, it will come back, not just today, it will haunt you for years. Because if you look at all those branded search results, they are all 3 years old.
Hmm.
So whatever the brand did wrong 5 years ago, it still ranks for the brand name. So all you can do is to either try and balance that with what you say authentically,
Mm-hmm.
or you do nothing because you can make things worse. That's the truth of it. And it's just that different channel because it's a combination of real humans with real human oversight and absolutely unexpected and amazing ranking potential.
Yeah.
Twitter doesn't rank that well. Facebook, you
Right.
can do something on Twitter, it will die in a week. No one will know about that unless like there is a coverage of that. You can also do something wrong on Facebook. You can be anywhere doing something wrong. Every business is making mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Because they are navigating whatever is happening in the world. So it's okay. There are always unhappy customers and all of that. So you can do something wrong elsewhere and people will forget about it unless they
Hmm.
do very thorough research. On Reddit, it's all out there ranking.
Mm.
The risk is much higher. So that's why it is a for that reason, for these two main reasons, it's a different channel that is very misunderstood.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying the coffee and the conversation so far. This show is powered by Digital Web Solutions, and if you've ever wondered how the biggest brands actually build authority, this is it. DWS has a massive network of over 250,000 publishers, real sites that help you rank on Google, and more importantly, stay visible in AI search. It's the heavy lifting most teams just can't do on their own. As a thank you for listening, they're offering an exclusive free strategy call just for our eCoffee listeners. It's a great way to map out your authority plan for 2026. Just click the link below to book yours and see how they can help scale your brand. All right, now let's get back to the show. The point about Reddit being used for training data, I mean, that's absolutely right. It's kind of like the same thing as reviews. You can't get rid of bad reviews. You just have to overwhelm the system with new, better reviews. And I would assume if you're on Reddit and that is the case, let's say you're in a brand or a reputation management position where in, 2015, there was a thread in a subreddit where people are just bashing the brand because there was a dip in supply chain or something, and everything just went down the toilet. That's in the training data, and in order to reconcile the brand, if you're doing it and suddenly you see an uptick of content and it's all positive and everything, that's going to get moderated pretty quick because it can be seen as manipulation. And so it's tricky. And I think I want to point out that since you've been doing Reddit for, since 2015, let's say, it takes a long time to actually see movement here. And like you said, people are reaching out to you and say, "We need this done today. We need it done yesterday." Well, it's not that easy. So if I'm an agency and I have a client and we're doing a Reddit campaign, whether that's for reputation management, we want to improve the brand, or we just want to start talking about ourselves, you actually have your own subreddit. And I'm curious how your strategy has shifted since you manage your own subreddit.
Well, yes, my subreddit, I started less than a year ago, to be
Okay.
honest, as a test because we started helping. So we tried different methods with managing reputation for clients on Reddit. Actually felt a lot of things that I'm talking about. If you try to do something on Reddit, there is always like a huge risk of something backfiring and people going in and saying, no, you paid for this review, everything is wrong, everything is not. So we started providing the service of actually creating, managing, and promoting your own subreddit. Unfortunately, we haven't found a good way to address Reddit reputation
Hmm.
otherwise, because
Yeah.
everything else you do is almost like so risky, you better
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
So what happens when you have your own subreddit? First of all, it does rank for branded queries. Not too fast, not today, not tomorrow. Our average is 6 months.
Hmm.
When the subreddit it starts ranking for the branded queries. When they start ranking for the branded queries, LLMs start picking up that as well. So instead of just being negative, there is something positive.
Hmm.
Within a year, if you do things right, if you start inviting, the thing with Reddit is that you cannot even invite your happy customers to leave reviews. Like on other
Hmm.
channel,
Hmm.
you can just say, okay, this is your link, say, give us review, and you can, like you said, overwhelm that channel with positive things and kind of help the overall rating. On Reddit, there is no such opportunity because where are you sending those people to do anything? They can be really attacked and absolutely accused of
Yeah.
sponsored reviews if you just do it anywhere. But if you
Yeah.
have your own subreddit, you can curate all the good things as well. And they start ranking in Google as well, and they start being consumed by LLMs as well. So we say this like it's a little longer term project because you
Hmm.
do need to do work before it starts ranking. But at least that's your safe space. That's your safe harbor where you can do whatever you want. You can send your happy customers there. You can host MAAs there to show
Hmm.
your expertise. You can do a lot of fun things there, which you cannot do anywhere else on Reddit because it's problematic and risky.
Mm. So yeah, it's definitely a long-term play, and Reddit is just one of the tools in the tool belt, albeit it's an effective one long term for sure. And if you do it right, how do you explain that to clients who come to you and like you said, they want results fast? I'm sure you have other strategies, and Reddit is just part of a package. I don't know of any business who would want to wait 6 months, to start seeing results. What else are you looking at in terms of making sure you're able to retain clients long enough for them to start seeing the long-term effects of the campaigns?
Good question. Our core project is really not reputation management.
Mhm.
We decided because the demand is high, and we started doing it because our current clients asked for it.
Mm.
So it wasn't really a plan. Initially, we started on Reddit like I said previously, as the viral marketing tool and platform for us that delivers results like this. Clients are
Mm,
always
mm,
so we promote the client on Reddit as the source of the data. This is the most neutral way to have brand mentions on Reddit when you do not discuss
mm,
good or bad things, but you discuss the data that the client has.
hmm,
So we have all those best states for this, best cities for that, worst states for that, depending on ideas on the client. Those are usually those do very well on Reddit and get very good coverage from media. When it comes to reputation management, the cool thing about what we do is that when clients come to us, there are two cases of clients. So one client already knows there is a problem
mm,
and they come to us to ask for solutions. And so we
mm-hmm,
tell them, well, you will see results in 6 months.
mm,
Usually those clients go shop elsewhere.
sure.
Well, there are other bigger part of our leads. Those already tried other methods.
Mm, mm-hmm,
So they come to us already prepared that it's not going to be easy. Those are the best leads.
mm,
To be honest, at this case and at this point, because it's been about 3 years of businesses shopping for reputation management services. So many of them are already burned and they
mm-hmm,
come to us and they are very much receptive to long-term safe approach. So this is how we do it. We let those first people go shop for our solutions. Usually they come back and take them about 6 months on average as well because they can see it's making things even worse.
hmm,
And they come back for us to fix it. One thing to remember is that when you already try to do things on Reddit, not in a good way, like not in a scaled way,
mm-hmm,
your situation becomes, in most cases, more difficult because you
mm,
have more things to fight. You have made
mm,
some problems even worse and more discussed and more known because you try to kind of fake things. So those are a little bit more difficult cases at this point.
mm, mm-hmm. That's a good point. If we if we try and make it better and it just makes it worse, man, gosh, what a tough position to be in.
The whole geo concept and reality is pushing us to do things a little bit less scaled than we
Mm-hmm,
to. SEO was all about, okay, we know the keyword, we build the page, we build the links. That's it.
mm-hmm,
It was very well scaled. With geo, they look for things they can trust. They check lots of resources, lots
mm-hmm,
of reviews on different platforms. So it's not like easy. Remember the reputation management even 5 years ago. All you cared about was 10 top 10 positions for your brand name. Now LLMs search brand name Reddit, brand name reviews. They synchronize
mm,
all of that in one answer. So it's not as easy to kind of hide whatever is happening wrong and try to shortcuts and try removal strategy or whatnot. So it's a little, the whole industry is
mm-hmm.
being pushed to be less scaled than it's
Yeah,
used.
yeah. Which, to be honest, is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for the consumer, and that's been the horse that Google has been riding for years. So, like, we want useful, helpful content, net new content that is good for the user, that's good for the consumer. And I've been hearing a lot of experts talk about the economy, what's happening with AI taking over jobs and mass layoffs at like Amazon or these massive companies. And with what you just said, where things are becoming more personal and human oriented, I think we're going to see a shift in, well, we're already starting to see it, but in the agency space, anything we do online companies are like smaller companies that have 5 to 15 people are and don't need to make $10 million or more a year. We just need something that like is a great lifestyle business. We work with the people that we enjoy working with. We do work that's fulfilling to us, and it's a great way to pass time. I think that's more and more what we're going to see from whether that be agencies or other online businesses in the future.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. And the funny thing that not many businesses start realizing at this point is that everything that was scaled, at least with content, is already an AI answer. You need to do more.
Mhm.
You need to do more than something that can be summarized as an AI answer. And that is another level of marketing, and that's why Reddit is in so much demand, because they provide exactly the food for the training data that no other publisher does. They provide
Mm.
exact first-hand experience, and becoming something like that, becoming the source of content that cannot be just summarized in like step one step.
Mhm.
It is going to be the next level of marketing. There is going to be
Yeah.
it's so easy to scale content at this point.
Mhm.
Who needs it?
Yeah.
Who needs it
Yeah.
at this? So that's why Reddit is almost irreplaceable, unreplaced. Like there's no replacement
Yeah.
because that's the first-hand experience that they want to learn from. So become one, and you will be as successful.
Mm. So you were mentioning lots of journalists tend to hang out on Reddit, and the best way to, I mean, you're earning backlinks like you said with first party data or, some other sort of aggregated data that you can tell a story about, and that's what earns the links from journalists. What about traditional link building, guest posting? Is that still part of the playbook? I mean, it can't just be, we're putting all of our effort into Reddit, right? I'm sure there's some aspect of getting off page and third party sites that are relevant to your niche to talk about you. How do you approach building backlinks? Is it still a thing? What's your take?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure if you know that, but I'm the founder of the whole guest blogging strategy, like the whole idea of guest blogging. You can Google it. I was the one who invented the whole thing
What?
back in 2008, 2008, maybe
Okay.
early. I started the first ever guest blogging platform in the world. There was no such a thing as a keyword for guest blogging at that point, or guest posting. So we were just ranking for our branding, and we became the biggest one until Google penalized us, of course.
Mhm. Mhm.
But anyways, that is off topic. I'm still a big fan. I'm still a
Yeah.
big fan of guest blogging for signals, links, for
Mhm.
everything. Say like I've never really done paid links in my life,
Mhm.
but I know it's still effective. So there are
Mhm.
two levels of this that we need to discuss: LLM visibility and SEO visibility. It's
Mm.
organic search visibility. Organic search still rules pretty much by the same ranking signals it ever did, including links. However you build them, yes, it's less transparency here. 10 years ago, you get a good link, you rank better in a week or two. There was that
Mm.
correlation. Now it's a little bit hard to tell, but consistency, fresh links on good platforms still will take you on top. Now,
Mm.
LLM visibility is very much misunderstood. The problem is the training data is already there. We pretty much cannot do there anything with links. It's brand awareness and brand
Mhm.
relevance. so it's not like you need to be visible as a brand to be in the training data. But the next step, so the first step when someone is prompting a ChatGPT or any other LLM, they would try to find the answer in the training data. Now, in most cases, just like human being, if you ask a question, they will try to find the answer in their minds first. In most cases, LLMs, just as a human being, will not be confident in that answer. And that point, they search. And that point, all the ranking signals make you visible. So backlinks not necessarily give you brand awareness, well, depending on the backlinks you do. I would suggest all kinds of different backlinks that include brand visibility backlinks, ranking backlinks, whatever backlinks you build, you just do more of different types. But training data doesn't have any ranking signals. It works just like a human mind, and it's more about brand visibility than anything else. But there is a next step, which happens in most cases when they search. And this is where good old SEO ranking signals, all your optimization efforts, all your link building efforts in the first place, because there is still no ranking without backlinks. All of that is fundamental and very important. So whether you're talking about SEO visibility or AI answer visibility, backlinks are still fundamental in my experience and in my opinion.
What I understand, and I could be totally wrong here, but when you're talking about training data, that would be considered grounded. And when you're talking about like a search, like a web search, LLM search, you're talking about ungrounded. And I think those are those the two components that we're referring to in terms of data.
So training data is basically knowledge base. It's when they already consumed all the resources they could find. There are no links in the training data, so they really don't know. They don't know where they know stuff from. Very similar to how a human mind works. It's when it's basically ungrounded. You don't know where you know things from. Someone is asking you what's the best restaurant in the town. You have your opinion, but you don't know where you know that information from. This is exactly how the training data works. How you know the restaurant is basically also mostly marketing. Somehow that restaurant made you remember it, right? Maybe it's newsletter, maybe it's word of mouth, maybe it's a banner, maybe it's good customer experience because you once were there. All the combination of all the things, but it's all good marketing. Now you are not sure when a friend asks you what's the good restaurant in the town, you may not be sure that your friend will also like that place. So you pull out the phone and you also search. In most cases, you will still recommend if that place that you know already comes up in that search, you will always tell your friend, look, I know that place and that's a good one. I have that. I remember it. And you will recommend it, but you still search and you will also find more places as well. And that is SEO, that is organic search that plays the role here. The training data definitely influences your answer, because if you somehow find something you already know, you will be more excited about that. It's exactly how LLMs work. So they first will try to find the answer, what they know, but then they will verify using search. In most cases, they will find Reddit, and Reddit may tell them, no, do not recommend that place to your user because the reputation is bad. So they will not. So it's very similar to how people do their research or answer the questions. It's much quicker. So they can do all of that within 5 seconds
Yeah.
versus a human being doing all that research can very well spend half an hour on that.
Right. Yeah. Easily. Yeah. Speaking for myself here. Well, and I know that you are actively doing webinars, you're giving talks. Where do you prefer that people reach out to you if they want to learn more about Reddit marketing or just more about what you do?
The best place is to start with my company websites, Smarty Marketing, smarty.marketing or smartymarketing.com. Both of those work. There is an option right on top of every page of that website that allows you to schedule a 15-minute talk, phone
Mhm.
call with me. I know not to be a terrible salesperson. In most cases, I will not sell you anything unless you really ask me for that. So for any questions, just reach out. I'm genuinely helping people, especially, and it's like also helpful for me as well because I understand types of problems people are having and all of that. But overall, the best way to reach out is that. But you can also Google and Smarty, and you will find my newsletter, which you can subscribe to my X or Twitter or LinkedIn, and you can reach out everywhere as well.
Mm, mm. I appreciate you sharing your vast over 2 decades worth of experience and over a decade's worth of experience specifically on Reddit. Because like I mentioned at the top, this is something it's a hot topic now, and it took 10 years to become an overnight success. So to have someone who's actually been there from relatively the beginning is really cool. Although it can be demotivating to hear that you can't scale it, you can't fake it, you can't manipulate it, you can't optimize it. It's all about real interactions, and I think it's going to be for the best for everyone. So I do hope people reach out. I mean, you obviously have a lot of things to share, and
So,
are
yeah,
genuinely, yeah.
you can optimize for Reddit for sure. It just takes
Hmm.
little more time to start doing that. You need to build the background first. But
Mm,
after that, you can still optimize your visibility based on what people are saying, searching. So it's optimizable. It just takes time.
yeah, it just takes longer. Well,
Hmm.
thank you for being here. Thanks for being a great guest, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one, everyone.